All of you. I hope you all are doing well. And in this topic, we'll learn current affairs from 1 to 10th August 2021. Okay, let's start the session. First section is appointments and resignations. Here, our first issue was Vice Admiral S.N. Gormade takes the charge as Vice Chief of the Naval Staff. Okay, see in the appointment and resignation, there is not much is there to explain. You need to remember the names and their posts. Okay, so here what is happening? Vice Admiral S.N. Gormade. Remember his name, S.N. Gormade. Okay, he takes the charge as the Vice Chief of the Naval Staff. Okay, remember the name S.N. Gormade. So next, Deepak Das. Deepak Das takes the charge as new Controller General of Accounts. So this Controller General of Accounts is a very big post. Okay, it is in short we call it as CGA. So in fact, this Controller General of Accounts will come under the Department of Expenditure. Okay, it is under the Ministry of Finance. So this CGA is the principal accounting advisor for the Government of India. Okay, so he is the responsible for establishing and monitoring the technically sound management ecosystem in India. Okay, so that's why Deepak Das will become very important. He is appointed as the Controller General of Accounts. Okay, so you need to know another one thing. This Controller General of Accounts comes under the Department of Expenditure. So this Department of Expenditure comes under the Ministry of Finance. Okay, you need to remember these things. Okay, next, Nikol Pashinyan. He is appointed as the Prime Minister of Armenia. Okay, then Kumar Mangalam Birla. He steps down as the non-executive director and non-executive chairman of the Vodafone Idea. So now it is called as now VI board. Vodafone Idea board is VI board. Who is that? Kumar Mangalam Birla. He steps down as the non-executive director and non-executive chairman of the Vodafone Idea, that is VI board. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So next is Ibrahim Raisi. So Ibrahim Raisi sold in as a new president of Iran. Okay, remember his name, Ibrahim Raisi. He became the new president of Iran. Next, Dr. Dhriti Banerjee. So remember the name, Dr. Dhriti Banerjee, appointed as the first woman director of the Geological Survey of India. So there are many surveys of India, right? Like Archaeological Survey, Geological Survey. Okay. So the Geological Survey of India recently appointed Dr. Dhriti Banerjee as the director of that. Okay. In fact, she is the first woman director of the Geological Survey of India. So next, Center approves the 1-year extension to Rajiv Guba's term as Cabinet Secretary till August 2022. Okay, so here Rajiv Guba was there, Cabinet Secretary before. The 1-year extension in his term. Okay, so now who is the our Cabinet Secretary till August 2022? This is Rajiv Guba. Okay, remember the name Rajiv Guba. He is the Cabinet Secretary of Central Government. Okay, next. Center approves the 3-year extension for Rekha Sharma as chairperson of National Commission for Women with effect from August 7, 2021. Okay, so 3-year extension is there for Rekha Sharma. Okay, so this Rekha Sharma, she is the chairperson of National Commission for Women. Okay, that is NCW, National Commission for Women, which will come into effect from August 7, 2021. It already came to the effect, right? August 7, 2021. Remember Rekha Sharma, chairperson of National Commission for Women. Okay. Next, we're going to see the different section, that is conference. Okay. So Meenakshi Lekhi, the Minister of State for Culture of India, she participated in the G20 Culture Minister meeting virtually. Okay, G20 is a big grouping. Okay, G20 means there are group of 20 countries are there. So they will have different ministerial meeting, like cultural ministry meeting, defense ministry meeting, external affairs ministry meeting, like that. Many ministerial meetings will be there. So recently G20's cultural ministers meeting happened virtually, that is in the online platform. Meenakshi Lekhi, okay, from India, Meenakshi Lekhi, she is the Minister of State for Culture of India. She participated in the G20 cultural minister meeting, okay, virtually, which was held recently in the August month. Okay, Next, DRDO's Integrated Test Range, that is ITR. What is ITR? Integrated Test Range. Okay, DRDO's ITR Chandipur organizes the Second Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So this is called as IEEE. What is IEEE? Institute of Electrical and Electronics in Engineering. This is the second institute. Okay. So International Conference on Range Technology through the virtual mode. Who established the second mode of IEEE? That is DRDO's ITR Chandipur. Okay, you need to remember that ITR Chandipur. It is a branch of DRDO. Okay, on the virtual mode, they established the second institute of IEEE. Okay. So next, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju. Remember the name Kiren Rijiju. He attends the 8th Shanghai Cooperation Meeting of Ministers of Justice. The 3 days meeting was hosted by the Tajikistan and chaired by the Tajikistan's Justice Minister MK Ashurian. Okay, so Union Minister, our Indian Union Minister Kiren Rijiju, he attends the 8th Shanghai Cooperation Meeting of Ministers of Justice. So in the first conference, what we have seen, Ministers of Culture, right? So now we are seeing Ministers of Justice. So in the Minister of Justice, all the grouping countries, Minister of Justice will come and participate in that. Okay, so likewise, our Union Minister Kiren Rijiju, he participated the 8th Shanghai Cooperation Ministers of Justice, which was held for 3 days. Okay, it was hosted by the Tajikistan and chaired by the Tajikistan Justice Minister, Mr. MK Ashurian. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible? Can anybody tell me? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Pavitra, you're audible.
Okay, next we're gonna see the books and authors. Okay. Okay, so in an ideal world, it is written by Kunal Basu. Okay, remember the name Kunal Basu. Okay, so next book is Balakot A Strike, How India Avenged Pulwama. So this is written by Manana Butt. Okay, Manan Butt. So these two books are very important. Remember, in an ideal world. Okay, so this book is written by Kunal Basu. So second one is Balakot A Strike, How India Avenged Pulwama. Okay, so this is written by Manan Butt. Okay, so next is apps and services. So Uttarakhand unveils the India's first earthquake early warning mobile app. Okay, remember Uttarakhand Bhukamp alert. So Bhukamp means earthquake, right? So that's why they have started with the mobile app name Uttarakhand Bhukamp alert app. Okay, so this app has been developed by IIT Roorkee. Okay, so here in examination they will ask recently which state government came up with the earthquake warning mobile app. So you need to remember it is Uttarakhand. Okay, what is the mobile app name? Uttarakhand Bhukamp Alert app. And who has been developed that? It has been developed by IIT Roorkee. Okay. Next, Union Minister Dr. Virendra Kumar launches the PM Daksh portal. Okay, and mobile app PM Daksh. So what is this PM Daksh is all about? That is Pradhana Mantri Daksha Aur Kushalta Sampan Hitagrahi. So okay, in total it is PM Daksh Yojana. Okay, who launched this? Union Minister Dr. Virendra Kumar. And this scheme is being implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So whenever the schemes come, you need to remember the purpose of the scheme. First thing. Another thing is, who is the implementing authority? Who is the implementing ministry? That you need to remember. Okay. Here, PM Daksh is a mobile app and it is a portal. So that is stand for Pradhan Mantri Daksha aur Kushalta Sampann Hitagrahi Yojana. Okay. So PM Daksh. It is implemented by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay, so this PM Daksh aim to make the skill development. Okay, so that skill development should be accessible for the target groups. So what are those target groups? Like backward classes, scheduled caste, and Safai Karmacharis, and many socially backward classes are there in the society. For them, they need to give the skills. Okay, so this is like a skill development scheme. I hope this is clear to you. So that's why it is implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So this is the work of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment to look after the socially backward people. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So remember the PM Daksh, it is implemented by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay, so next we're gonna see next section, that is awards. Okay, so legendary playback singer Asha Bhosle, you might have heard, she is very famous singer Asha Bhosle, selected for Maharashtra Bhushan Award for 2021. Okay, remember the name Asha Bhosle. So next, Serum Institute Chairman Dr. Siras Poonawalla wins the Lokamanya Tilak National Award for 2021. Okay, who is that? Dr. Siras Poonawalla. Okay, he is the chairman of Serum Institute. He wins the Lokamanya Tilak National Award for 2021. So next, Indian economist Dr. Jagdish Bhagwati and Dr. C. Rangarajan. So remember both of the names. They are the Indian economist. Okay, Dr. Jagdish Bhagwati and Dr. C. Rangarajan. They conferred with the inaugural Professor C.R. Rao Centenary Gold Medal by the Indian Economic Society. That is TIES Trust. Okay, so remember Dr. Jagdish Bhagwati and Dr. C. Rangarajan. So next, the DBS Bank has won the global accolade of most innovative in digital banking. Okay, in examination they will ask. So recently, which bank has won the most innovative in digital banking? So you need to remember it is DBS Bank. Okay, and who is the no, who will announce this? It will be announced by the banker. Okay, it is a Financial Times publication, the banker. Next, we're going to see the defense issues. So INS Khanjar becomes the first Indian Navy ship to call at Heritage Coastal Port of Gopalpur in Odisha. So remember this picture. This is the INS Khanjar. This becomes the first Indian Navy ship to call at Heritage Coastal Port. Okay, it is of Gopalpur in Odisha. So remember INS Khanjar. You can see in the picture, this is INS Khanjar. Next is India's first indigenous aircraft. Indigenous aircraft means completely developed by India. Okay, so not with the help of any other country or any other foreign institutions. So India's first indigenous aircraft carrier, Vikrant. Okay, so remember it is not just a ship, it is aircraft carrier. Okay, aircraft carrier Vikrant. It successfully completes the 5-day maiden sea voyage. You can see this picture. This is the INS Vikrant. Okay, INS Vikrant. It is the indigenously developed aircraft carrier of India. Okay. Next, India UAE Navy undertakes the bilateral naval exercise, that is Jayed Talwar 2021. So it happened in the Abu Dhabi coast. Okay. So whenever the exercises come, you need to remember which two countries are participating in it. Okay. Or which are the countries are taking part of it. And what is the name of that exercise? Here, a lot of exercises are there. So this is India UAE Navy exercise. Okay, bilateral naval exercise. What is the name? Jayed Talwar 2021. So where it happened? It happened in the coast of Abu Dhabi. Okay, so you need to remember here two countries which are participating in this exercises, India and UAE. Okay, next 101 member Indian Army contingent to participate in the seventh edition of International Army Games. Okay, International Army Games. It has conducted recently. It is the seventh edition of that. Okay, so it is organized by the Russian Ministry of Defense. In examination, they will ask, okay, seventh edition of the International Army Game recently happened. It is organized by which country? Okay, you need to remember it is by the Russian Ministry of Defense. Okay, it is from 22 August to 4 September 2021. Okay, and it will be hosted by 11 hosting in 11 countries. Okay, next national news. Rajasthan government launches the mission Niryatak Bano to boost the export from state. So here you need to remember mission Niryatak Bano. So which state is implementing this scheme? It is implementing by the Rajasthan government. Okay, Rajasthan state. Then what is the purpose of mission Niryatak Bano? The purpose of the mission is to boost the export of that particular state. Okay, you need to remember these 2 points. Mission Niryatak Bano, it is implemented by the Rajasthan, and the purpose of this mission is to boost the export from the Rajasthan state. Okay. Next, India assumes the presidency of the United Nations Security Council for the month of August 2021. See, United Nations Security Council is very important organization of the United Nations. That is Vishwa Samstha. You all know that. Okay. So India, it assumes the presidency of that. Presidency means chairmanship of the United Nations Security Council for the month of August 2021. Okay. So next, Bhubaneswar becomes the first city in India to achieve 100% vaccination against the COVID-19. Okay, it will be very, very important issue you need to remember. Bhubaneswar. Okay, so this Bhubaneswar becomes the first city in India to achieve the 100% vaccination against the COVID-19. So Bhubaneswar, it will comes in which state? Can anybody tell me in the comment section? Where is Bhubaneswar in India? Which state? Let me know in the comment section, okay? And remember, Bhubaneswar became the first city in India to achieve the 100% vaccination. Next, Border Road Organization builds the world highest motorable road at Umlingla Pass. Okay, I will show in the picture what is that highest road. See, this is the picture. Okay, this is the road. So this Border Road Organization, BRO, builds the world highest motorable road at Umlingla Pass in eastern Ladakh. So this is 19,300 feet long. Okay, 19,300 feet. Here you need to remember this Umlingla Pass, where it is located. It is located in the eastern Ladakh. Okay, in examination they might twist the question and ask Umlingla Pass located in which Indian territory or which state. Okay, so for that matter, you need to remember it is in the Ladakh. So recently, Border Road Organization, it builds the world's highest motorable road at this pass. Okay, in the eastern Ladakh, it is 19,300 feet long. Next, India's first heart failure biobank. Okay, India's first heart failure biobank launched at the National Center for Advanced Research and Excellence in HF. That is CARE HF. Okay, at the Sri Chitra Chirunal Institute for Medical Science and Technology at Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. You need to remember India's first heart failure biobank. Okay, so it got launched in the Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, you need to remember the state name, Kerala. Okay, next, Prime Minister Narendra Modi becomes the first Indian Prime Minister to chair a UNSC debate. So, what is UNSC? I just told you, right? So, what is UNSC? Long form of UNSC, what is that? Let me know in the comment section. What is UNSC? I just told you, right? Moment back. What is UNSC? United Nations Security Council. Okay, don't forget that it is very important organization. United Nations Security Council. So our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he became the first Indian Prime Minister. Okay, he is the first Indian Prime Minister to chair the United Nations Security Council debate. Okay, next is Karnataka becomes the first Indian state to issue the order regarding implementation of National Education Policy 2020. So national education policy, you might have heard, right? It is the issue of 2020. Okay, so this is a new education policy. You can say new education system for the India. So Karnataka becomes the first Indian state to issue the order of implementation of the national education policy 2020. So remember the state, it is Karnataka. Okay. So next we're gonna see the ranking. So 7 Indian companies feature in the Fortune Global 500 list for 2021. So this Fortune Global is very, very important. Okay, it's a very important organization. It will release the company's name every year. Fortune Global 500 list for 2021. So 7 Indian companies are there in this list. Okay, so before seeing the 7 Indian companies, we're gonna see the top 5 global companies which are taking part in the Global 500 list. Okay, so those 5 companies are Walmart. So Walmart is of US. Okay, we all know that Walmart is a very big company, famous company. It is of USA. Next is State Grid. State Grid belongs to China. Then Amazon.com, USA. Then China National Petroleum, by the name only we can understand it is of China. Then is Sinopec. Sinopec is China. So these are the top 5 global companies who took the place in the Fortune Global 500 list for the 2021. I repeat once again. Walmart, USA, State Grid, China, Amazon.com, USA, China National Petroleum, Sinopec, China. Okay, you can see 3 Chinese companies are there at the top 5 list. USS 2, Walmart and Amazon.com. Okay, so remember this. So next is 7 Indian companies in this list is, first one is Reliance India. It ranked at 155th. Okay, Reliance of India, Reliance India. Next is State Bank of India, 205. Indian Oil, 212 ranking. Oil and Natural Gas, that is ONGC, 243 ranking. Then Rajesh Export, 348. Tata Motors, 357. Bharat Petroleum, 394. Okay, so I repeat once again. 7 Indian companies in the list is Reliance Industries. It is at the rank of 155. Okay. State Bank of India, 205. Indian Oil, 212. Oil and Natural Gas, that is ONGC, 243. Rajesh Exports, 348. Tata Motors, 357. And Bharat Petroleum is finally 394. So these are the 7 Indian companies. They are in the list of Fortune Global Companies, 500 list. Okay. Next, we're going to see the sport news. The 8th Indian badminton player PV Sindhu defeated the China's He Bingjiao to win the bronze medal in women's single event at the Tokyo Olympics. Tokyo Olympics happened right recently. So our Indian badminton player PV Sindhu won the bronze medal in that. Okay, in the women's single event. So next, Sri Lanka bowling all-rounder Isuru Udan. Okay, remember his name, Isuru Udan. He retires from the international cricket. Okay, with immediate effect, the sport minister Anurag Thakur launches the Paralympic theme song Kar De Kamal Tu. Okay, the composer and the singer of the song is Sanjeev Singh. So remember, Kar De Kamal Tu, it is a theme song of the Paralympic. Okay, so this song composer is Sanjeev Singh. Okay, this is for Divang cricketer player from the Lucknow. Next, Germany's Alexander Zverev beat the Russian Karen Khachanov to win the tennis men's single gold at Tokyo Olympics. Okay, so remember his name, Alexander Zverev. He's from Germany. Okay, so he beat the Russian Karen to win the tennis men's single gold medal at Tokyo Olympics. Okay, so next, India's Indian men's hockey team beats the Germany. This thing we all know, it's very famous, right? Indian men's hockey team beats the Germany to win the bronze at the Tokyo Olympics. So next, Ravi Kumar Dahiya wins the silver medal for India in men's 57 kg freestyle wrestling at Tokyo Olympics. So remember, Ravi Kumar Dahiya, he won the silver medal for India. In which field? In the 57 kg freestyle wrestling at the Tokyo Olympics. So next, Bajrang Punia clinches the men's 65 kg wrestling and won the bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics. So next, Neeraj Chopra, very, very important. Remember his name. Neeraj Chopra, he wins the gold medal in men's single men's javelin throw at Tokyo Olympics 2020. Remember his name, Neeraj Chopra. Okay, he is the person or the gold medal in the Tokyo Olympics. And which field? Javelin throw. Okay, this sports name also you need to remember, javelin throw. Next, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award is rechristened as Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna. So before it was called as Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna, now it is changed as Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna Award. So Khel Ratna Award is the highest sporting honor of India, that we all know, right? Highest sporting honor of India. So the name has been changed. Now it is Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna Award. Okay. So next, Indian contingent concludes with the 7 medals at 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics Games. Okay, totally India won 7 medals in the Tokyo Olympic Games. Okay, so before that we need to understand some background of this Tokyo Olympics. This 2020 Summer Olympics came to an end in August 8, 2021. Okay, international multi-sport event was held from July 23 to August 8. We all know that. Okay, it finally came to end in August 8. And where it happened? It happened in the Tokyo. Where Tokyo comes? It is in the Japan. Okay, so remember Japan. So this was for the 4th time Japan is hosting the Tokyo Olympic Games. Okay, so remember it is the 4th time Japan is hosting the Olympics Games. So after previously hosting in the Tokyo, that is in 1964, it is also Summer Olympic. Next at the Sapporo in 1972, it is Winter Olympics. Next Nagano in 1998, it is also Winter Olympic game. Now again in the Tokyo for 2020. So so totally how many? 4 times. Okay, so 4 times Japan hosted the Olympic Games. And Tokyo is the first Asian city to hold the Summer Games twice. Okay, so remember that. Now we're going to see the medal table in that. So totally the United States topped the overall medal table with 113 medals, which includes the 39 gold medal, 14 silver and 33 bronze medal. Okay, so in this Summer Olympic, which was held in Tokyo, Japan, so totally 113 medals were won by the United States of America. So in that 39 gold medals are there, 41 silver and 33 bronze medals are there. So next, Indian contingent managed to win the 7 medals. Totally, how many we won? 7 medals. So comprising 1 gold medal and 2 silver and 4 bronze medal. So totally, how many? We won 7 medals. And what is the rank of our country? 48th position. Okay, so totally 86 countries were there. 86 countries were participated in the Olympics. Our ranking is 48th. And who topped the this medal table? United States of America topped the medal. Okay, because it won 113 medals. India won 7 medals. Top 5 nations in the medal table. One is United States of America. We all know that 113. Second one is China. It won totally 88 medals. In that 38 gold, 32 silver, 18 bronze. And third place is for Japan. It won totally 58 medals, 27 gold, 14 silver and 17 bronze. So next is Great Britain. Totally 65, 22, 21 and 22. Okay, then Team ROC, the Russian Olympic Committee, 71, 20, 28, 23. Okay, these are the 5 countries. So next, Indian medal winner list will become very, very important for us. Okay, we don't need to worry about other countries. We need to know our India. Okay, totally how many we won? 7 medals, right? So first, gold, we won 1. That is Neeraj Chopra. In men's javelin sport, he won the gold medal. So next, silver medals are 2. One is Mirabai Chanu, another one is Ravi Dahiya. So Mirabai Chanu won the silver medal in women's 49 kg weightlifting. Okay, this is not wrestling, this weightlifting. And second person is Ravi Dahiya. He won the silver medal in the men's freestyle 57 kg wrestling. Okay, remember Mirabai Chanu and Ravi Dahiya. So these 2 people won the silver medal. Next, bronze medal, we won 4. One is Lovlina Borgohain, women's welterweight boxing. She won the bronze medal. Next is PV Sindhu, women's single badminton. Next, Bajrang Punia, men's 65 kg freestyle wrestling. Next, India's men's hockey team won bronze medal. Okay, so these are the 5 bronze medals and 2 silver medals, and finally 1 gold medal for India. So totally, how many we won in the Olympics? We won 7 medals. Okay, need to remember that. Next, we're gonna see the banking and economic news. So first issue is National Payments Corporation of India, that is NPCI. It launches the innovative digital solution e-rupee. Okay, you need to remember. So recently e-rupee got implemented by which institution? Likewise, question will come in examination. You need to remember it is by the National Payment Corporation of India. In short, it is NPCI. It launched the innovative digital solution e-rupee. E-rupee is a type of payment voucher for a specific purpose or activity via SMS or QR code. Like how you are using the Google Pay, Paytm, all those digital payment systems are there, right? So this is also like the same way we'll do the word. Okay, you can pay like using the QR code, okay, via SMS, okay, through any digital UPI mode. Okay, it is built on the UPI platform. Okay, you need to remember that. What is the name? E-rupee. Who launched that? National Payment Corporation of India. Okay, NPCI. Next, State Bank of India launches the SIM binding feature for its UNO and UNO Lite app. See, UNO is a payment app. Okay, we all know that. It's just like the Paytm or Google Pay. It's like that. Okay, it is by the State Bank of India. So this State Bank of India launched the SIM binding feature in the YONO and YONO Live app. Okay, remember that. Next, RBI authorizes the IndusInd Bank to act as an agency bank. So it's not that important. So HDFC Bank launches the Dukandar Overdraft Scheme. Okay, remember the name Dukandar Overdraft Scheme. By the name only you can understand it is for small retailers to help the shopkeepers and merchants in easing their cash crunch. If they want some money, they can take the money from Dukandar Overdraft Scheme. Okay, which bank launched it? HDFC Bank. You need to remember the bank name. Okay, HDFC Bank launches the Dukandar Overdraft Scheme for the small retailers to help the shopkeepers and merchants in easing their cash crunch. Okay. Next, Suryodaya Small Finance Bank launches the Health and Wellness Savings Account. Okay, remember Suryodaya Small Finance Bank launches the Health and Wellness Savings Account. So in this topic, we learned the current affairs of 1 to 10th August 2021. If you have any doubts in this, let me know in the comment section. Any doubts? Since we're doing only 10 days current affairs, it will be short. Okay, so try to complete it as soon as possible after the class. Study it once again, and please try to solve all the test results given in the edurapid.com. Okay, every day you need to solve as many as questions also, because your tests are approaching near, right? Your examination is approaching near, so try to solve every day. Okay, I assume there are no doubts regarding this particular session. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next class.